This live presentation of high school basketball on FingerLakes1.com is brought to you thanks to the support of Generations Bank, Little John Orthodontics, Bill Cram Chevrolet, DeSanto Propane, Cicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant, Finger Lakes Partners Insurance, Brad Van Dusen Photography, It's a Wonderful Run 5K, Penny's Place Family Restaurant, Ferrara Lumber and Building Supplies, Red's Place in downtown Seneca Falls, Wilson Press and Mail House, Connie's Diner, Stever's Garage and Jimmer's Auto, and FingerLakes1.com for digital marketing.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome live inside Gates Chile High School, home of the Spartans, site of today's Section 5 Girls Class B1 championship game between the Palmac Red Raiders and the Dansville Mustangs as we continue our championship weekend of live basketball coverage here on FingerLakes1.com. I'm Jim Sinacropi alongside Tani Robinson for FL1 Sports. And Tani, we did a lot of boys games last night and this morning, and now it's time to turn the attention to the girls. And we have Finger Lakes East co-champ in Palmac, who for a third was able in the rubber match to defeat Waterloo, advance here against a Dansville team who last year was the Class B2 champ, moves up a classification this year, and it's a classic matchup, and we're excited to get it going.
Absolutely. Should be a great game. Most exciting time of the year if you're a high school basketball fan. Championship day. And this Palmac team really did a nice job of, during the postseason, overcoming a key injury from one of their starting players, a stat sheet stuffer, as Coach Dan Harris calls her, Grace Seether, who plays good defense, gets a lot of rebounds, scores some points, and a key ball handler. Grace unfortunately went down with an injury before the postseason, and the team's really come together nicely here on this run. Like you mentioned, able to defeat a pretty tough Waterloo team for the third time this year. Always tough to beat a good team twice, and they beat them 3 times in a row.
And every game just amazing. A couple of them go to overtime, and difficult to stomach if you're Waterloo, but if you're Palmac, here you find yourself playing for the first sectional title for your program since 2001.
That's right. Back in 2001, the Lady Raiders won a sectional title coached by Pat Nolan, who most recently we saw on the sidelines for the Palmac boys 2 years ago, and then prior to that was involved in coaching over at Bloomfield. And so it's been a while, almost 20 years since Palmac's hung a sectional title banner in their gymnasium on the girls' side.
And that's been a theme here on Finger Lakes 1 this weekend, really. Friday night, we saw Lions. They never have to wait too long between sectional titles. They've won their 3rd straight, which is really unprecedented. McQuaid's going to try to do that tonight in AA. But then we saw the Marcus Whitman Wildcats, who hadn't won a sectional title since 1976, finally bring that block back to Gorham and Rushville in the Marcus Whitman Central School District. And then this morning, early start at the Blue Cross Arena, Waterloo attempted to win their first sectional title since 1972, came up 2 points short against the Geneva Panthers, who had won previously in 2014. So it's funny how in high school basketball, sometimes generations and communities in these championships, and there is a connection on this team to the 2001 championship.
That's right. There's an 8th grade junior varsity player this year, Mariana Hodgins, pretty tough player, has gotten some quality minutes during this postseason run for Coach Dan Harris, and her mother, Mariel Hodgins, was a part of that sectional championship team the last time Palmac won a title.
So we are about to get underway here from Gates Chili High School as the teams are now heading back to their bench, where we should hear from the public address announcer shortly with just 1 minute left on the pregame clock, as Gates Chili High School, a cavernous gymnasium, as you can hear the public address announcer welcoming everybody in for the first game of the day here at Gates Chili. There was a couple of games last night in Class Single A and Double A. And then the games will continue throughout the afternoon. Following this one, the Pena Mustangs will face Avon in Class B2. That game can be heard live on WFLR with Lucas Day. And then we're back on the air on Finger Lakes 1 Radio at 7 p.m. as Paul Russo and Nick Felice will give you the call as the Lions face Keshequa in Class C2. So championship weekend, maybe one of the best weekends of the year if you like high school basketball.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
So our position here at Gates Chili High School, high above midcourt, there's a track that runs around the entire circumference of the and perimeter of the court here at Gates Chili, and fans still filling into the arena. Directly across us from our vantage point to the right is the Dansville Mustangs bench. Behind them, a full consortium and bleacher of Dansville fans, and to our left, the Pelmac bench. And we're getting ready now for the national anthem, so we are going to step aside, and when we come back, it'll be time for basketball here. Championship weekend rolls on here on FingerLakes1.com. You're going to want to keep it right here.
At FingerLakes1.com, we have always pledged to you to bring the most comprehensive local news coverage, access to timely information, and a locally focused, entertaining media option. Support FingerLakes1.com and help us bring you more great local sports coverage like this by visiting patreon.com/FL1.
DeSanto Propane is 4 generations strong as a trustworthy family-owned business with unmatched customer service. Go online at DeSantoPropane.com for more info. DISANTO Propane.com or call toll-free at 1-800-752-4574 today. DeSanto. Since 1937, the difference has been DeSanto Propane.
Generations Bank is celebrating 150 years of serving and supporting our hometowns. Visit mygenbank.com for the best choices in checking, savings, home equities, mortgages, and much more. Generations has been the Finger Lakes Bank since 1870. Generations Bank, member FDIC.
Welcome back, everybody, inside Gates Chili High School. About to get underway here for the Section 5 Class B1 Girls title game as starting lineups being announced. Again, Pelmac from our vantage point high above midcourt. Across the way to our left is their bench. Pelmac coached by Dan Harris, former boys coach, took over the girls program 3 years ago.
That's right.
Coming in 18-4, they're Finger Lakes East co-champions, the number 4 seed. They defeated Batavia 58-48 in the opening round, and then, as we mentioned earlier, defeated Waterloo in overtime in the semifinals. The Dansville Mustangs, coached by Kristen Kirshner, the number 2 seed. They were playing out of the Livingston County Division I League, 14-0 in the league. They defeated Greece Olympia 56-42 before beating Livonia 55-51. They come in at 20-2, and much like Pelmac and Waterloo, Dansville and Livonia have some history this season.
That's right. Just like Pelmac was able to defeat Waterloo 3 times en route to this sectional final appearance, Dansville was able to defeat the Livonia 3 times this year in order to advance to the sectional finals. And you know, we talked a little bit in the pregame, defending champions of a different class, Dansville, but some championship experience during the game, not to be overlooked in a big stage like this.
So we're getting the Dansville Mustangs starting lineup right now. And first off the bench would be number 2 senior Jenna George. And next would be Grace Rittenhouse. She'll be expected to provide a bulk of the scoring for the Mustangs. And then Madison Lee, a senior. So far, all 3 starters announced seniors. And then we have Ariana Young, wearing number 33. And she is bringing a lot of size and athleticism to the Dansville club. And then I think the last person we missed was Hannah LaPlante.
Correct.
A junior. And Tony, the Palmac starters?
So the Palmac starters tonight are going to be Sophie Lyko, Andra Savage, Katie Smyth, her younger sister Tatum Smyth, and freshman Riley Trail.
And Savage and Trail bring a lot of size and athleticism too. And Andra Savage, one of the better athletes in the history of Palmac athletics. Of course, she had a terrible knee injury a couple of years ago. She has come back to lead her team now to the sectional championship. And then Katie Smyth, you can't say enough about the four-year varsity player. She's one of those players that just wills her team to win. You want the ball in her hand in a close game. And we're about ready to get underway. Referees for tonight's ball game: Diane Williams, Matt Finch, and Todd Burden. And the ball's in the air, and it's controlled by Dansville. Rittenhouse holds, fires a three from the top of the key, and it's off the rim, no good. Rebound pulled down by Riley Trail and into the hands of Katie Smyth.
And Rittenhouse, an excellent three-point shooter. That's going to be one of the keys to the game for Palmac, is that perimeter defense on Rittenhouse.
Now Tatum Smyth controls, gets it to Savage. Palmac moving from our left to right. Katie Smyth, deep three-pointer from the wing. Good!
A great start for Palmac. Katie Smyth can have limitless range depending upon the night, and her opening up with a big three, a great way for the Lady Raiders to start.
Now it's inside to the big girl, Ariana Young. She holds at the block, kicks it back outside, and now three ball on the way from Madison. Lee goes down, and we're knotted up at 3-3. Palmac wearing their road reds, white lettering and gray trim. Dansville also a red and white themed school. They're in their white home uniforms with red over the shoulders and a red lettering. And now Katie Smyth tries to get to the bucket. Ball blocked out of bounds off the baseline, and it will stay with Palmac.
And Dansville opening up man-to-man defensively, but it's a real sagging man-to-man with Ariana Young, the big 6'2 junior, lurking near the cup.
They left Smyth open in the corner off the inbounds, but the shot too long. But Andra Savage there, Riley Trail there to put it back up and in. 5-3, Palmac early.
Riley Trail scored 8 big points the other night in the semifinal game. Most of her points coming on putbacks for the Lady Raiders.
And there's an intercepted pass from Savage. Up top it goes and around the bend from Lyko. Now inside to Savage. She throws one off the glass, no good. Rebound corralled by Dansville. They're quickly coming the other way. And straight to the basket and laying it up and in with a nifty move is Hannah LaPlante.
LaPlante did a nice job pushing the pace there in transition, going coast to coast.
All knotted up at 5 apiece here at Gates Chi-Lai High School. 6:09 to go, first period. As Sophie Lyko hands off to Tatum Smyth, the younger of the Smyth sisters. She hands to her sister Katie, and now it's way back up top to Lyko. And now Lyko lets a three ball go off the glass and the rim and no good. Dansville coming the other way. One-handed pass over the head of, looks like Sydney Stone may have checked into the game.
Yeah, and Dansville had numbers there. It was a good attempt at a pass, just a little bit of a miscommunication. And it's a little surprising how much Dansville's been pushing the pace. When I talked to Coach Harris the other day, he anticipated that Dansville would try and slow down the pace a little bit today.
So Smyth now across the timeline, picks up her dribble, and gets it to Trail near the elbow. Opposite elbow goes to Savage. She loses the ball, and it's into the hands of Grace Rittenhouse. Here comes Rittenhouse wearing the black headband. She lets her runner go, but partially blocked by Lyko. And now Savage streaking up the right side of the court by a Dansville player. Tries to kick it to Lyko, who was open on the block, and she traveled.
And you'll see a lot of that with Palmac in terms of transition offense. Andra Savage, one of the fastest players on the floor, with or without the ball in her hand. And when she comes down with a rebound, she's frequently looking to push the pace.
And she still sports that brace on her right knee, a black knee brace, after that ACL injury of a few years ago. Fully recovered, though I imagine that's more precautionary as we have a foul near the top of the key. Referee Todd Burden reports it to the scorer's table.
It looks like they're going to get Katie Smyth with the block there. Coach Harris a little frustrated as he thought Ariana Young was maybe moving a little bit to make contact with Katie.
So now Hannah LaPlante controls, hands it off to Rittenhouse. Rittenhouse, top of the key three-pointer on the way, and good.
Mentioned it before, Rittenhouse, a dead-eye shooter, been playing varsity since 8th grade. If she gets hot, it'll be problematic for the Red Raiders.
8-5 Dansville. Now down on the right block to Andra Savage. She muscles it up and in over Rittenhouse.
Beautiful assist by Katie Smyth, penetrating and finding Andra for the layup.
8-7 your score as it goes in on the block, and spinning and missing is Young. And now here comes Katie Smyth down the right side of the court. She lets a deep ball go from the wing, and that one's off. Rebound Dansville.
Ariana Young, the big junior, continues to suck up rebounds, always lurking near the basketball on the defensive end.
Rittenhouse leads for LaPlante, and we got something going the other way, an illegal screen perhaps. And that's going to go on Ariana Young, and Coach Harris would love to see some foul trouble on the 6'2" Young.
And he was calling for that foul on the previous possession when she came out and was moving a little bit for the screen. He gets rewarded with the call there.
Just her first, as there's 4 minutes to go, first period. Your score 8-7, Dansville leads. And now it's Sophie Lyko around the perimeter, handing to Katie Smyth, who drives into traffic. A lot of contact. She goes down and she's fouled. Should be 2 free throws.
Nice job by Katie getting close to the basket, able to draw the foul. An excellent free throw shooter is Smyth, and she frequently looks to draw contact when she gets near the basket.
Second foul on Dansville in the quarter. It goes to Sydney Stone as Smyth knocks down the free throw. Scoreboard operator having a little difficulty here. It's a tie game now at 8. They had it wrong.
That's going to be 2 on Young.
Oh, wow, on the...
Yep, it looks like she bumped Riley Trail pretty hard with her hip, and right away we're going to see Ariana Young headed to the bench with her second foul here just under 4 minutes in the first quarter.
It's just what the doctor ordered for Palmac fans, and the ball goes in. And back to Katie Smyth now in the quarter. She drives baseline. A little floater rolls off the rim and off of Andra Savage's hands and out of bounds.
Beautiful ball fake by Smyth and able to go baseline to get open. But can't understate how much Ariana Young being out of the game is going to change things on the offensive end for Palmac.
And this gymnasium at Gates Shiloh, cavernous on either side. A lot of room between the baselines and the walls of the gymnasium as Dansville gets to work and turns it over. Here comes Tatum Smyth with it across the timeline. Over to Savage. Savage one dribble, lofts it inside to Lyko, lays it up and off the rim, gets her own rebound. That's no good. And Dansville's going to track down the loose ball and slowly jog it up court.
And Lyko just a little strong on the putback there, but did a nice job of trying to follow her own shot.
So Madison Lee controls. And now it's whipped down on the block to LaPlante, who lays it up. Long rebound controlled. And now out for a 3-shot attempt off the backboard and around the cylinder and out. Here comes Andra Savage the other way with it. She looks to get into the paint. To Riley Trail. Out to Smyth, who had a look at a 3 and passed it up. And to her sister Katie it goes. Katie drives right side. She gets to the rim. Can't finish. Rebound Savage. And she got it a little too high in the backboard there. Excuse me, that was Savage. We'll have a couple free throws coming. She was fouled. And the foul going to go on Brielle Caruso checking in the game, just a sophomore for the Mustangs.
Both teams struggling a little bit with some of the chippies near the basket. Of course, championship game, a lot of nerves for all the players involved. Takes a little while to kind of get settled in, and just remember, it's another game.
Savage misses the first, short on the attempt. Second attempt on the way, and good. So Palmac takes the lead. 9-8, 2:38 to go here, first period. Jim Sinacropi, Tony Robinson for Finger Lakes 1. Glad you could be with us here on Saturday afternoon as the Palmac Red Raiders go for a sectional title. As it goes inside, a little spin and turn from Madison Lee's no good. Palmac controls. Katie Smyth throws it up ahead to Lyko, tries to force it into Savage. It's picked off by Rittenhouse. And the ball goes out of bounds off of Rittenhouse as she was trying to navigate the right sideline. Out of bounds right in front of Coach Harris. it'll be Pale Mac ball.
Nice defensive hustle by Andrew Savage, putting a little pressure on Rittenhouse from behind, forcing that turnover.
And now Katie Smyth controls, and she likes to, lost it into Savage, and Savage goes up with a shot, and that's going to be a foul on Grace Rittenhouse. More free throws coming for Pale Mac.
This Dansville Mustangs team, not very deep, plays 6 players most of the time in crunch time, and so one of Coach Harris's thoughts was if we can get them in foul trouble, that they will struggle with their depth, and we'll have some players on the floor that the coach doesn't trust as much.
So Savage does make the first free throw this time, as it's the first foul on four-year senior starter Grace Rittenhouse, and Savage knocks them both down, so she's 3 for 4 in the afternoon, made her last 3 in a row, and biggest lead so far today for Pale Mac. They're up 11-8, 2 minutes to go, first quarter. And Rittenhouse tries a deep 3, back iron no good, rebound controlled by Dansville, and now it's out to Madison Lee and back into the paint, but the shot attempt blocked by Savage. She grabs the ball, she's streaking down the court. Picks up her dribble, finds Lyko, left block, lays it up and in.
Smothering block by Savage. And Dansville's going to take a timeout to talk it over. But boy, what a great defensive play by Andrew Savage. Two-handed block, under control, takes the ball, pushes it down the floor, and finds a wide open Sophie Lyko for the layup.
13-8, Pale Mac with a 5-point lead, their biggest of the afternoon, 1:41 to go first period. And as I was describing this a rather large high school gymnasium at Gates Chi-Lai, I mentioned cavernous on both sides of the baseline. On the right side, from our vantage point, there's actually an extra set of bleachers they could pull out along the baseline. We got Pale Mac fans directly to our left in our position here on the track that runs around the perimeter of the arena. A good contingent of Pale Mac fans on their feet right now. They brought the I don't know what they call the Pale Mac mascot.
That's the red-tailed hawk.
The red-tailed hawk is in attendance, getting into it, and we're back in action here. It's Dansville's ball as LaPlante walks it up and kicks it over to Madison Lee, and the ball went into the right elbow, and we got a whistle.
Not sure.
Ball number 12, Tatum Smyth. Our first team second into the game.
So we get Tatum Smyth with the foul, and we'll get our first look at Mariana Hodgins, the 8th grader up from the junior varsity into the game for Riley Trail.
And the shot on the way from the wing for 3 for Dansville, no good, but the long rebound put back up and in by LaPlante. She has 4. Pale Mac lead down to 3, 1:22 to go.
LaPlante, the second leading scorer in the semifinal game by Dansville the other night, put in 14 against Livonia.
And it goes into Hodges on the block, outside to Lyko, lets a baseline jumper go, it's short, rebound hauled in by Brianna Caruso, and here comes Rittenhouse with the ball. She hands it off to LaPlante. LaPlante thought about a 3 at the top of the key, gives and goes, gets it back and hits it on the baseline. Nice cut and nice shot by Hannah LaPlante. She has 6 to lead all scorers here early.
Yep, some nice interior passing on that possession by the Mustangs.
13-12, Pale Mac leads. Savage turns and pops one from the right elbow and hits it.
Nothing but net from Andrew Savage from the wing.
Pale Mac lead back up to 3. We are now inside 30 seconds as a deep 3 from Rittenhouse is off and corralled by Savage, who turns up court, lofts it up to Lyko. She has Hodgkins left side. Mariana Hodgkins lays it up and in.
Great transition passing by the Red Raiders. Lyko to Hodgins.
Rittenhouse leaves for Madison Lee, and now LaPlante tries a 3 off the front of the rim. No good. Another rebound by Savage as time expires in the first quarter here at Gates Chi-Lai High School, where your score, Pale Mac 17, Dansville 12. Championship weekend rolling on here on FingerLakes1.com. 3 quarters of basketball left. Keep it right here. We'll be right back.
Generations Bank is celebrating 150 years of serving and supporting our hometowns. Visit mygenbank.com for the best choices in checking, savings, home equities, mortgages, and much more. Generations has been the Finger Lakes Bank since 1870. Generations Bank, member FDIC. All roads lead to Bill Cram Chevrolet, Waterloo Thruway Exit 41, Highway 5 and 20 in Seneca Falls. Browse their full Cramtastic new and used vehicle inventory online at BillCramChevrolet.com, supporting high school athletes for the past 50 years. Dr. Littlejohn, Dr. Barbie, and their outstanding orthodontic team share a common goal to ensure the overall wellness of each of their patients through their exceptional orthodontic care. Dr. Rod Littlejohn and Dr. Liz Barbie are proud to support our area high school athletes. Check out Dr. Rod and Dr. Liz online at littlejohnortho.com.
Our sponsors, Ribbon Nose, Nation, Synergy Global Solutions.
Welcome back inside Gates Chi-Li High School. Second quarter action about to get underway here. Big offensive first half for Palmac. They put up 17 points. Andra Savage controlling the boards on the defensive end, and she's leading the way now with 7 points. Katie Smyth with 4. And now they have the basketball to start. Pump fake top of the key. Savage drives by her girl, throws up a shot, no good, grabs a rebound. A little trouble getting the second shot off, and we got a foul. It's either going to be on Katie Smyth or Mariana Hodges. Let's see who they give it to.
They get Tatum Smyth,
excuse me. I might have got them confused out there.
Wait, a great ball fake by Andrew Savage on that last possession. Came close to possibly drawing a foul from Rittenhouse, which would have been big. Her getting her second foul.
Both Smyth girls like to pull up their shorts, kind of like crunch them up on the sides. It's a kind of a unique look I've seen a few people do in girls basketball recently. Blocked by Hodges at the rim. Wow.
Using her left hand to make that block and then securing it with the right. Great defensive play by Hodgins.
That was Brielle Caruso with a shot rejected. Now they throw it into the block to Savage. Great body control as she catches, spins to her left, and finishes.
Boy, and a really nice touch pass by Sophie Lyko, who's been sharp with her assists so far tonight.
And now top of the key it goes. They loft it in and out of position for the shot is Rittenhouse. But right there with the putback is Brielle Caruso. And now quickly Palmac the other way. Savage by her girl misses on the right side and the ball pulled in. And Caruso getting some minutes here with Ariana Young on the bench with those 2 fouls. A spin and a shot from Madison Lee's no good. And Tatum Smyth controls. Dribbling with the left hand by 2 Mustangs up the left side. She stops in front of the Dansville bench and kicks it over to Lyko right side. Lyko probes the baseline and we got a blocking foul. It looks like it's going to be on Madison Lee.
And Palmac at this point of the quarter has got 2 players up from the junior varsity as Molly Seether, the freshman, has checked into the game also for Palmac. Molly had a big putback bucket the other night to tie the game, send it into overtime in the semifinals against Waterloo.
1 foul on Madison Lee, a little sloppy with the basketball this time. Turn over to Dansville, and LaPlante kicks it over to Madeline Faila, who misses on the left side. Battle for the rebound. It was controlled there by, I think that's Caruso, who traveled. Her foot kind of slid in front of Coach Dan Harris. He let the official know.
They got her with the double dribble.
Yep. So here comes Palmac the other way. It's Lyko to Savage, top of the key. She goes left again through the paint and gets it up on the rim, and it falls through, and everything seems to be running through Andra Savage here.
Difficult shot for Savage as she released that ball from down low.
21-14 Palmac leads. LaPlante drives. Offensive foul. Katie Smyth stepped in front, and everything's going Palmac's way early. 5:51 to go. Red Raiders with a 7-point lead.
Great defensive slide in there by Katie to get in front of the Dansville.
30-second timeout.
Coach Harris wants a 30-second timeout. And Tani, I don't think it could have drawn up a much better start for Palmac. We got foul trouble on Ariana Young, who just went to the scores table to check back in. Probably some urgency for Coach Kirshner. Wants to get her back in. Things getting out of hand.
Right, the Red Raiders have stretched it up to 7, and the defense is just drastically different when Young is not in the game. The way that Dansville opened the game before Young drew those 2 fouls was tight man-to-man out around the perimeter with Young sagging way off of her player so that she could be defended near the basket. And she was controlling the offensive glass for Dansville and really making it more challenging for Palmac to get an open look. She'll check back in, but risky maneuver with 6 minutes to go.
Plenty of time left in the first half. Mustangs have the ball. Smyth tried to throw it into Hodges. It was deflected, and Riley Trail snagged it. Now here comes Smyth right side, leaves it for Trail. She's in the corner, gives it back to Smyth. Pops a quick 3, binds!
Boy, a really quick release by Katie Smyth on that 3 ball.
Second 3-pointer of the afternoon for Smyth. Biggest lead of the day for the Mustangs. They're up 10. And now they go high-low, and there is Young in the game. She kind of backs off, guarded by Riley Trail. And now right side, a lot of contact, no call. It was Caruso missing the layup. And here comes Katie Smyth again, dribbling with the left hand. She does a little Euro step, too hard off the glass. Long rebound out to Lyko, bounces into Hodges. Hodges high-low to Trail, but the pass was short, and Young intercepted it. And now Hannah LaPlante is bringing the ball up court, kicks it up to Faela. Faela 3-ball, back iron no good. And Riley Trail out-rebounds Caruso there.
Nice job by Trail tracking down that ball.
Hodges on the left block with the basketball. Free throw line jumper from Savage. No good. Trail skies in for the rebound, but it's ripped away by Young. And now here comes LaPlante quickly. She takes it right into Katie Smyth, and she makes the bucket off the glass. That was not a lot of contact from Smyth, but a big turn of events here as Dansville tries to strike back down 12.
And LaPlante, one of 3 left-handed players in Dansville's starting lineup, which can always be a little bit challenging for the defensive player when somebody can go strong to that left-hand side.
And that's a second foul on Katie Smyth, and with that back basket, it's an 8-point lead for Palmac, 24-16. Free throw to make it 7 is up and in. So impressive first half from Hannah LaPlante, 3-year varsity player, junior. She has 9 points, and with 4:20 to go in the first half, 24-17 your score. Smyth remains in the game with those 2 fouls. Riley Trail finds Savage on the right elbow, dribbles once, picks it up, out top it goes to Lyko, thought about a 3, takes 1 step in, shoots a free throw line jumper, misses, rebound Mustangs. And it will be Faela bringing it up. Left hand, lost it, and we got another foul. This time it's going to be on the younger.
They're going to get Molly Seether with the foul.
The younger Seether sister, just a freshman, so a couple freshmen seeing some time here early for Coach Harris. Right now it is Seether, Smyth, Savage, Trail, and Lyko for Palmac as Dan Harris kneels at the end of his bench watching his team's defensive set here. It goes into Young, the 6'2", Young, who spins against Riley Trail, misses the shot, but rebound Trail. Now back into the block to Young. She turns and shoots over Trail. Good defense by Trail. Not much you can do there, and Ariana Young's on the board.
Trail did a nice job on both of those shot attempts by Young of getting her hands up and contesting. Young was just a little bit deeper, able to turn and put it up off the backboard for the basket.
24-19 as Sophie Lyko shoots a little running hook shot right side, misses. Rebounded by Riley Trail, that also missed. And Dansville now continues their run as straight to the basket goes Hannah LaPlante. Smyth kind of moved out of the way knowing she had those 2 fouls. And just like that, it's a 3-point ball game.
That momentum has shifted here a little bit as that 10-point lead has dwindled to 3, 24-21. And Young coming back into the game drastically shifted all the momentum. Since she's gone back in, we've not seen the Red Raiders get an offensive putback for a basket, and she's been contesting those inside shots, making it a little bit more challenging for the Red Raiders to put up points.
She came back into the game with those 2 fouls with about 5:50 to go. Right now there's 3:18 to go. She remains with those 2 fouls. In that time she did get her first bucket, but you're right, Connie. Not as much opportunities at the rim for Palmac, and on the other side, she commands a lot of attention on the block. It's opened things up for LaPlante and Brielle Caruso. And right now, 24 22-21 is your score here as we approach halftime, where we got a great halftime interview lined up, right?
Yeah, we're looking forward to talking to Amanda Masters, former PalMac program assistant who worked with Dan Harris, and former Nazareth basketball standout as well.
So that coming up on the Bill Cram Chevrolet halftime report. But first, we have 3:18 to go. Again, glad you could join us. I'm Jim Sinacropi with Tony Robinson, high above the court here at Gates Chili High School. PalMac going for the first sectional title in girls basketball since 2001. So we're talking 19 years ago. That streak could end today. They got a great team to do it as Lyko gets it to Katie Smyth now. Smyth thought about a step-back three. Boy, she juked her girl. Let a three go, but it's too hard off the back iron. Rebound tracked down by Hannah LaPlante. Here comes LaPlante way up ahead to Young through the hands of Trail. Young puts it up on the glass. Missed it, but Trail fouled her. We got a couple of free throws coming up now from Young. Trail
just didn't get her head around in time to deflect that pass. Almost got it, but a lot of zip on that front court pass to Young, who's able to draw the foul on Trail.
So a lot of red and white on the court with Dansville and PalMac sharing their same school colors. Dansville in their home whites as Young misses the first, and PalMac in their familiar solid road reds. This court at Gates Chili, was that navy blue, Tony, on the sidelines and in the paint? As Young makes one or two, so the lead's back down to 2. Dansville hasn't been this close since early in the first quarter. 2:48 to go. PalMac, a bit of a scoring drought, could use one here. The younger Seether dribbles, finds Riley Trail. Nobody's guarding Trail.
Yep, they're doing that sort of four out man-to-man, and then zone with Young hanging near the basket.
Oh, Savage almost threw it away, but in the attempt to steal the ball, Madison Lee committed the foul, and it's going to be the second foul on Madison Lee. So she'll check out, and Brielle Caruso checks back in, the sophomore. PalMac inbounding underneath her own basket. It is Lyko holding and hitting Smyth in the corner. Spinning and now backing things out here. She's got 25 seconds to shoot, 2:25 to go in the quarter. Red Raiders up 2. Smyth sets at the top of the key, working off a Savage pick. She stops, pops from 3. No, too strong, but Lyko with a strong rebound in the paint, bounces it to Trail. Trail's shot from about 5 feet on the wing, no good. Seether grabs it, kicks it out to Savage. Savage out to Smyth, and we'll reset now with 20 seconds to shoot, 2 minutes left in the half. Smyth right side, guarded closely by LaPlante. She goes by her to the left, a little Euro step, trips and falls. They're going to get her for a travel. And we have...
And Katie Smyth did trip over a Dansville player's foot, but the officials elected not to call that, and we're going the other way.
As Tatum Smyth back into the ball game as freshman Molly Seether takes a seat. 1:50 to go. Dansville can tie or take the lead with a 3 here. As LaPlante throws it into Young on the block, guarded by Trail. Young spins, misses. Again, good defense by Trail, but they can't corral the rebound. LaPlante comes the other way, misses with the left hand, and now they're on the run. Here comes Lyko, left side. A lot of contact, not a great angle for the shot. She missed it. Riley Trail, Trail in the play, missed the putback.
And a big moment here is we're going to find out who that foul was on.
Young was involved. It's going to be on Sydney Stone.
They give it to Stone. Now, Young was in the area and thought there was a decent chance that she might have gotten called for the foul. I'm sure a moment of relief for the Dansville squad as she's able to stay on the floor.
So they give it to the sophomore. Her second foul. She takes a seat, and now Riley Trail heads to the free throw line. The 6'1" sophomore. She eyes the rim, lets fire, and can't get the roll. So 24-22, there's now 1:29 to go, second period. And Trail attempts the second free throw. It's up and good. 3 points for Riley Trail.
And in that scoring drought, a long scoreless spell for PalMac since Young had been back into the game.
25-22 the score as the Mustangs get back to work. And there it goes again to Young. Great defense by Trail, straight up and down. Forced a bad shot by Young. The putback no good, and Palmack controls now. 1:09 to go.
Real smart defensive play by Trail as she's able to stay down, use both hands to deflect and control the ball.
Inside to Savage. She turns and takes it to the hole and missed it. Then a little frustration foul, I think, as Young grabbed the rebound. And that should just be the first on Andrew.
Yep, Savage smartly looking to take the ball right at Young, see if she can draw that third foul. Didn't get the call, wasn't able to make the basket, and it was a little bit of a frustration foul going the other way. But that'll put Young on the free throw line here.
And Young. The first free throw by Young is off. So Young now just 1 for 3 from the free throw line this quarter. She's got 3 points on the game. Make it 4. She's back to 50%. And so it's back to a 2-point lead for Palmack. We're now inside 1 minute here in the first half. 50 seconds remain. Katie Smyth controls, working off a Savage pick. Drives left side. Lets one go. That's way over the rim and out of bounds, but it will stay with Palmack as it's off the hands of Brielle Caruso.
A lot of contact there between Caruso and Savage as they both end up on the ground with Palmack basketball.
Lyko to inbound. Into the corner it goes to Tatum Smyth. Up to Katie. She squares, sets, fires. Yes!
Katie from deep. Way beyond the NBA line there.
Third three-pointer for Katie Smyth. And the lead back up to 5 now. 28 seconds left in the half. Palmack should get another possession. Now a 3-ball from the opposite corner from Madeline Faila, no good. And now Tatum Smyth streaking down the court. Hands it off to Katie. 16 seconds. Top of the key. Palmack can hold for 1. Shot clock's off. They're up 28-23. Game clock now down to 9. Tatum controls. Right-handed dribble, and she's fouled by Faila at the top of the key. And that will be the 5th team foul, so that will mean free throws coming for Tatum Smyth.
And Tatum Smyth able to draw the foul at the top of the key with just 6 seconds to go. The ball had gotten out of the hands of Katie Smyth, but Tatum, a strong free throw shooter, has done well throughout the year.
Can they build a lead? It's 5 right now. Smyth dribbles 4 times, squares, shoots, and off the front of the rim, no good. She'll get one more attempt, and then Dansville will have to hurry with 6 seconds left. Second free throw is good. So Riley McPike checks in, another freshman with some size for the Red Raiders.
McPike strong defensively, and
rolling it in is Dansville, and LaPlante picks it up. She fell on it. We're going to have a jump ball. So that's going to swing possession back to the Red Raiders. They're going to inbound it. Or actually, no, it's going to be Dansville ball, but that means second half, it'll be Palmack ball.
Correct. And Riley McPike off the JV team stepping forward. Smart decision by Coach Harris, not wanting Katie Smyth to be in a position where she could possibly pick up a third foul, taking her out for the last defensive possession.
LaPlante thought it was a double dribble. Ball's knocked out of bounds and stolen by McPike up ahead, but the second quarter buzzer expires, and we're heading to halftime here at Gates Chili with the Penn Mustangs up 29-23. When we come back, it's the Bill Cram Chevrolet halftime show where we'll have Amanda Masters joining us here at the broadcast booth.
This live presentation of high school basketball on FingerLakes1.com is made possible thanks to the support from Gigino's Pizzeria and Restaurant, celebrating 23 years in the Finger Lakes with locations at 22 Main Street in Waterloo, 40 Exchange Street in Geneva, and Del Lago Resort and Casino. Dine-in, takeout, delivery, catering, and banquets. Order online at Giginos.com. Live, laugh, and eat well. It's the Italian way. Finger Lakes Partners Insurance. For your life, home, auto, and future. Whether it's your first car, second home, or third child, the experienced professionals at Finger Lakes Partners can recommend the coverage that best utilizes and protects your assets. With offices in Geneva, Victor, and Waterloo, and online at fingerlakesinsurance.com. Since 1937, the difference has been DeSanto Propane. 4 generations strong, DeSanto Propane is a trustworthy family-owned business with unmatched customer service. Go online at DeSantoPropane.com or call 1-800-752-4574 and look for DeSanto Propane on Facebook. Ferrara Lumber has been locally owned for 3 generations and is more than just a lumber and building supplier. Stop in on Baird Street in Seneca Falls to browse their full section of power tools, hardware, lawn and garden, painting, and plumbing supplies, and talk to their experienced staff before planning your next home improvement project. Brad Van Dusen Photography is a full-service photographer serving the Finger Lakes region, offering family, senior, and wedding portraits, also specializing in sports photos, collages, banners, and other keepsakes for your student-athlete. For more information, find Brad on Facebook or visit bradvandusenphotography.com. Penny's Place Family Restaurant, located on 5 and 20 in the Liberty Plaza between Seneca Falls and Waterloo, well known for their large portions and home-cooked meals, the large selection of breakfast items, and everything from burgers, salads, and wraps for lunch. If you want a great meal while pinching a penny, come to Penny's Place. Jimmer's Auto offers a full inventory of late model cars, trucks, and minivans. Check out their full inventory online at jimmersauto.com. And for service, visit Stever's Garage on Fall Street in Seneca Falls. Jimmer's Auto and Stever's Garage, strong supporters of local high school athletes for over 40 years. It's a Wonderful Run 5K. It's a winter run like no other through the streets of Seneca Falls, the town that inspired Frank Capra's holiday classic, It's a Wonderful Life. Learn more and register at itsawonderfulrun5k.com. Red's Place in downtown Seneca Falls, locally owned for 43 years and serving great lunches Monday through Friday from 11:30 to 2 p.m. Legendary soups, wraps, salads, and the best burgers in town. For over 65 years, the Wilson Press has been serving Central New York as commercial printers with a full-service mail house, specializing in offset and digital printing, graphic design services, full mail house services, marketing and advertising plans, and fundraising programs. Call them today at 315-568-9693 or visit them online at wpress.com. Connie's Diner on Main Street in Waterloo has the ambiance you will only find in a true diner. Let the Cardazola family serve your next breakfast, lunch, or dinner from their vast menu of time-tested favorites and original recipes. Visit them online at connieswaterloo.com. And FingerLakes1.com digital marketing, website development, hosting, multimedia production, and home of the most popular website and mobile app in the Finger Lakes. Help FingerLakes1.com bring you more great live local sports coverage by becoming a supporter at patreon.com/FO1.
It's Big Truckin' Deals here at Bill Cram Chevrolet. Check out this cram-tastic inventory for big truckin' deals. Whatever truck you're looking for, we've got the inventory. Trucks for towing, trucks for family, trucks for work, and trucks for fun. Whatever you're into, we've got a big truckin' deal waiting for you. All roads lead to Bill Cram Chevrolet, Waterloo Exit 41, Highway 5 and 20 in Seneca Falls. See all our trucking deals at BillCramChevrolet.com.
And welcome back inside Gates Chilai High School. I'm Jim Sinacropi alongside Tony Robinson here, and at halftime, Palmac with a 29-23 lead over the Dansville Mustangs. Palmac looking for their first sectional title since 2001, and they hold a 6-point lead. And I'm here with Amanda Masters, former Nazareth basketball standout and a program assistant with Coach Harris.
That's right.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks.
And what do you think of the first half?
I think, as expected, we have, Katie Smyth leading the way, and Andra Savage as our two seniors and leaders. So, Katie hitting those 3-point shots, that's been crucial for our offense. And Andra running the floor and taking charge like she does has definitely been the key to our offense.
Right. Yeah, it looked early like Palmac was going to run right away with it, but then Dansville kind of struck back. But you're right, Katie Smyth is hot shooting, and that's a great sign for Coach Harris.
Absolutely, and defensively we have Katie Smyth and Tatum Smyth both with 2 fouls. So they sat for a few minutes in the second quarter, but I expect us to start back up the second half full force the way we started the game. Defensively strong, kind of keying in on number 33, Ariana Young, and giving attention to a couple of Dansville's key guards. Rittenhouse and LaPlante. So we're just kind of keying in on those scorers and playing tough. That's what we do.
Now, Amanda, you've been involved in the PalMac program for a long time now and have seen Katie Smyth and Andra Savage develop over the last couple of years. Talk a little bit about what you've seen them in terms of them growing as players and leaders over the past couple of years.
Yeah, definitely always been strong athletes. You know, they've both been on the varsity team since their freshman year, but it's been great to see them grow in their confidence and just take the lead. So, you know, getting the ball in Katie's hands in those key moments, whether it's, you know, in the semifinals, we got the ball in her hands to get her to the foul line, and she's clutch there. And we know she's a lacrosse standout, but she's a heck of a basketball player too, and she shines on the floor on both ends.
And I think another storyline is we're about 2 years removed from Andra Savage had a pretty serious knee injury.
Yep.
And, you know, at that time, it might have been hard to imagine that she would be out here playing up and down game that she is, leading her team to a 6-point lead at halftime in a sectional championship game. Can you talk about what that might have been like for Andra to bounce back from?
Sure, and you certainly can't tell. She has not lost a step, but I know that she put in a ton of work on rehab, and she really dedicated herself to being ready for this season and, of course, for her upcoming lacrosse season.
Yeah.
Now, we mentioned a little bit your basketball playing career, and your former college coach, one of the officials here today.
Oh, that's cool, yeah.
I know. Yep, Diane Williams is out there. She's one of the 3 officials on the floor, and so quite a while ago that I played for her, but actually right around the time I just was hearing that in 2001 was the last time and the only time that PalMac has won a Section 5 championship. And interesting enough, we have Mariana Hodges out here on the floor as an 8th grader, and her mom was a part of that Section 5 championship, along with 2 of my former college teammates, Cassie Denniston and Sarah Shipley. So some history here and a great recipe for another championship.
Absolutely.
Real quickly before we let you go enjoy the second half, there are a lot of youngsters coming up, and you know, I think it speaks to the quality of the youth programs and the involvement of the coaches, not only in the varsity program but the entire program, right down to you know, the youngest levels of youth and rec basketball. Just your being involved in the program, just describe what that situation's like with how they engage the youth in PalMac.
You know, we owe so much to our Palmyra Community Center.
Yep.
That's where it all begins and the love of basketball starts. So we owe so much to the coaches and the volunteers that spend their time there. But in our modified program, which I have coached in, we had great success this year. Our 8th grade team was undefeated. Our 7th grade team a winning record, along with a solid JV season. So the future looks bright. We have some volunteer managers on our benches that are 6th graders, and so it's really exciting to see the success breed more and more energy for the program.
And then a lot of those youngsters, I'm sure, are here today to watch this team if they can be successful, or even just to see how they compete.
Yep. And in Coach Harris's 3rd season, I mean, he's done an excellent job with the program. Coach Hurleman, Coach Powers, they have been a great team leading the charge.
Well, Amanda, thanks for spending some time with us. Enjoy the second half. Hopefully it'll be a good one for the Red Raiders.
Absolutely.
And then we continue on down the road. If they can be successful, celebrate that sectional championship, and then look ahead to a potential Class B1 qualifier. So thank you.
Fun to see. All right, thank you guys.
Enjoy the second half. So that was Amanda Masters, and it is pretty interesting whenever you get a chance to talk to, you know, some of those, I don't want to say secondary, but compared to like the head coaching staff and Dan Harris, those secondary people that help help build the program from the roots. And you don't get to a sectional championship like this without that type of support from.
And of course, she mentioned that, you know, the Palmyra Community Center, and that really has been a backbone and a foundation of our athletic programs. Just getting players involved with the sport as early as 3rd grade and giving them opportunities to play.
So second half action underway, and it starts with a miss on the right side from Savage as PalMac now moving from our right to left. It's Dansville's ball. Now moving from our left to right into the corner, and a pass intercepted in the paint by Savage. Back to Katie Smyth, to her sister Tatum. Tatum drives, throws it off the glass and in.
Tatum with a nice job pushing the pace, able to shift the ball from her left hand to her right hand and put it up and in.
31-23, lead back up to 8 as Dansville gets to work. Ball goes into the corner and now back up top to Rittenhouse. 3-ball from Rittenhouse, back iron, no good. Hauled in by Tatum Smyth. 3-on-1, Pelmac, bounce pass to Lyko, and bothered by Rittenhouse. Long rebound out of bounds. It's going to go to Dansville.
Unfortunate there for the Red Raiders as they had a 3-on-1. Looked like Lyko wanted to pass the ball to Savage and was playing pass all the way, and it was well defended by Dansville.
So now Dansville back to work. LaPlante slings it into the corner. Wide open three is down from Madison Lee. It's her second three-pointer of the afternoon. The lead now down to 6 with 6:47 to go, third period.
The Red Raiders were in a 3-2 zone those last two possessions.
And Riley Trail, a little up and under move in the paint, is blocked by Young. And now here comes LaPlante straight to the basket, misses the layup, but Young puts it back in, and that is a second field goal for Ariana Young. She now has 6 points, and the lead's at 4.
Yeah, followed by Young. And that offensive end, they're letting Riley Trail get the ball out on the perimeter, and then Young is really sagging off of her to help defensively.
Tatum Smyth straight to the hole, over Young, misses, but Andra Savage on the opposite side of the tin to put it back up and in, and she's on the board here in the second half.
Great put back by Savage, and you can see Young a little bit hesitant, worried about picking up that foul.
Again, LaPlante misses on the left side as the rebound hauled in by Pelmac. Andra Savage went down a little slow to get up. She's back up now. Katie Smyth drives baseline, bounces it to Savage, lays it up and in, and she's fouled.
Wraparound pass by Katie Smyth, and Andra Savage able to pull in a difficult pass, go up and finish, put a little English on the ball, draws the foul, and will go to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play.
And now that's a second foul on Rittenhouse. And the free throw by Savage goes down. She completes a three-point play. She had 11 and a half. She now has 16 points, as I just got an eye on Macy Kisner and Kara Walker, a couple of Mid-Lakes greats. Of course, Kara Walker is in her junior season. As a 3-ball from Rittenhouse is off. Rebound by LaPlante. Put back, blocked by Savage, and then laid up and in. And it was Sydney Stone for her first points of the game, 36-29. Turnover by Pelmac. And here comes Rittenhouse, streaking down the center of the court by everybody. Right-handed layup off the glass, rolls out, unlucky. Loose ball rebound, though, corralled by Rittenhouse. And now into the corner it goes, baseline drive, and a foul. They're going to get either Savage or Trail on the baseline drive and shot.
A hard foul there as both Savage and Trail went up to contest it.
So Macy Kisner, of course, graduated last year after heading to back-to-back state Final Fours for Mid-Lakes. They beat the Dansville team in the B1, B2 state playing game last year as the first free throw from Madison Lee goes down. And Kara Walker, missing her teammates Elena Forbes and Kisner this year, they bowed out in the sectional quarterfinals. And
Elena Forbes, cousin of Andra Savage from Pelmac.
So a lot of ties here in the basketball community of the Wayne Finger Lakes, and the lead now after that free throw is down to 5. 36-31, 5:04 to go, third period. I'm Jim Sinacropi with Tony Robinson. Glad you could be with us here as the Pelmac Red Raiders striving for their first sectional title in 19 years. And Smyth lets go from deep, and it's off.
Just a little bit short there. Katie hit some deep threes in the first half.
Young pulls in the rebound, and maybe she picked it back up, thought it might have been a double dribble, and they reverse it now to Madison Lee. They try to whip it into on the block to Young. She gets it after a little bit of trouble and puts it up and in off the glass, and now Young has 8 points, and the lead down to 3 again, 4:27 to go.
Unlucky bounce from the Red Raiders there as Andra Savage deflected that pass initially.
Ooh, Smyth tried to loft it in to Savage. The ball was intercepted by LaPlante, and then she went down hard.
Yeah, Savage and LaPlante's feet got tangled up a little bit, and so they're going to get Savage with the foul.
second foul on Andrew Savage. 4:21 to go, 36-33. Dansville takes over. Palmack waiting for them on the other court as LaPlante jogs it up. She's met by Tatum Smyth. They throw it into Young, though. Beautiful play, who is guarded by the 8th grader Hodgins, and Young turns and finishes, and it's a 1-point game. Dansville has not been this close since the opening moments of the game. And now Katie Smyth, right side, dribbles, kicks it over to Lyko. Lyko into the paint. Hook shot over Young, well short, and a good job there by Madison Lee boxing out Hodgkins, so the ball would kind of go out of bounds and back to the Mustangs, and they're going to have the basketball with a chance to take the lead here.
And Tatum Smyth will pick up a little bit in the front court.
Oh, they lofted into Young, guarded by Savage. She moves around Savage, and the Gainesville Mustangs have just taken the lead. 8 third-quarter points for Ariana Young. 37-36 your score.
And she's getting deep position in the post and is able to use her body well to turn and finish.
Now Smyth streaks into the paint, puts up a shot with her left hand. It's off, but she's going to head to the free throw line. Oh, look at this. They're going to have them inbounding. And I thought that was certainly a shooting foul. The foul is the third foul on Madison Lee. And inbounding under her baseline now is Lyko way up top to Tatum Smyth. She squares and sets and shoots. Back iron no good from 3. And rebound tracked down in front of Coach Dan Harris by the Mustangs. Riley Trail up on the scorer's table, set to check in. Baseline drive by, knocked out of bounds by Trail. And man, these Dansville players have tough numbers to read on their jerseys. I can't tell who that was driving baseline.
They have long hair and the ponytails drape right over their numbers.
So inbounding underneath their own basket are the Mustangs. It comes into Rittenhouse. Up top, it goes to Lee. They try to reverse. Instead, inside to Stone. Again, she turns. This time on Trail. No good. Gets her own rebound, but she puts it up and in.
And Ariana Young is just taking over the game in this third quarter. She's getting deep positioning near the basket. She's looking to turn, use her hips to go up on that right-hand side. Riley Trail did the best she could there, but just too powerful. Young's able to push her under the basket, get the rebound, and put it up and in.
It's looking like Coach Harris, who just called a full timeout, is certainly going to need to give some more attention to Young than just leaving her one-on-one with Trail, who did a good job in the first half, but it seems now like Ariana Young's starting to gain some momentum, and she's got 10 points this quarter.
Well, the positioning of where she's getting the ball right at the top of the basket, and then is able to spin and go to that right-hand side, help use the rim as a little bit to create some separation between her and Trail.
She has gone right every single time, so that could be something that Coach Harris is telling his troops. Give me a chance to mention some of our great sponsors that make all our coverage here at FingerLakes1.com possible. Like Finger Lakes Partners Insurance, insurance for your life, home, auto, and future, online at fingerlakesinsurance.com. Inland Harbor and Marine on Waterloo Geneva Road, online at inlandharbormarine.com. And Connie's Diner in Waterloo, full menu online at connieswaterloo.com. And Brad Van Dusen Photography, full prints of area high school athletes available for order at bvdsports.com. As Palmack out of the timeout controls. Katie Smyth walks it up, dribbling with the right hand across the Spartan at midcourt. And now to her sister Tatum, who controls at the top of the key. Man-to-man defense from the Mustangs. And Katie Smyth now working off a Trail pick. She reverses and into the lane. A little scoop shot, back iron, no good. And Young just controls the rebound. And it's LaPlante with a basketball. Dansville up 3. They lofted into Young, and Andra Savage with the foul. That's going to be number 3 on Savage. And
on that possession, Riley Trail was fronting Young, trying to prevent, and Andra Savage came from behind to double. But nice job by Dansville throwing the ball over the top of Trail to get Young to the line.
Now, Palmack fans obviously know the size of Savage and Trail and what they look like on the basketball court as Young makes the first free throw. But Ariana Young at 6'2" is noticeably taller and and just bigger. She's an athletic
Strong
center.
and athletic at 6'2", and has really physically imposed her will during this third quarter.
She makes 1 of 2 free throws. The lead at 4 for the Mustangs, 40-36, 2:10 to go third period. As Lyko with the basketball tried to loft it into trail, it really wasn't there. Intercepted by Young. Here comes Dansville. Straight to the basket, and missing is LePage, but rebounded by Young. Put back up, and another whistle. This time they're probably going to get Tatum.
Yeah, they're going to get Tatum Smyth to go over the back there. Because again, Ariana Young able to get a rebound, put it back up. She wasn't able to finish that time, but everything's going through her.
So 3 fouls on Tatum Smyth, 3 fouls on Andra Savage. Now up top it goes to LaPlante, inside to Young. She spins to her right again. This time she misses, and the rebound corralled by Katie Smyth. And this is where you might see Katie Smyth pick things up, take things into her own hand, but instead it's Trail with an elbow jumper, no good. And Lyko out-rebounded there by Lee, and the ball goes into Grace Rittenhouse's hands, and she dribbles it up court. She stops, thought about a 3, instead threw it inside to Young. Pretty play as Young catches and shoots in the same motion right over the front of the rim. As she has now 13 points in this quarter, 17 on the game. Savage now to the basket. A lot of contact and a whistle.
And it's either going to be on Rittenhouse or Young, as both those players were in the area.
And both have 2 at the moment. Let's see who they give it to. They do give it to Rittenhouse, and that is her third. As Savage to the free throw line. Pelmac desperately needs some points here. This one rolls in and out. They only have 7 points in the third quarter with 1:13 to go.
Pelmac has been struggling a little bit in the half court, other than the times Katie Smyth's been able to find the range from deep. Has done a good job of scoring points in transition, and we've seen that cool down a little bit as they've not been able to push the pace because Dansville's been scoring.
1 of 2 free throws from Savage. She's now made 5 of 7 on the afternoon. And there's Young on the right block throwing a shot up. We got a whistle before the shot. Looks like it's going to be Pelmac basketball. 3-second violation on Dansville. So 58.8 seconds to go, 42-37. Pelmac has led much of this game, but things have turned here in this third quarter. They trail by 5. Here comes Smyth right down the middle of the lane, and she lays it up and in.
Smart play by Katie Smyth as she challenges Young, who does not try and contest the ball, not wanting to pick up a foul.
Smyth has 12. Her first bucket of the third period, however, as we're down to 32 seconds, lead down to 3. We have a whistle now from referee Todd Burden.
And it's either going to be Smyth or Savage picking up the foul there.
Foul number 3, Katie Smyth.
So it is Smyth now, and she has her third. So Savage with 3, and both Smyth sisters with 3. The only couple of Mustangs with 3, I think Rittenhouse and Madison Lee have 3 apiece. Free throw from... Is that Sydney Stone at the free throw line?
Yes.
That's the one I can't see the number. And she makes them both. And the lead back up to 5. 44-39. 31 seconds left. Just about a 2 or 3 second differential between the shot and game clock. As Smyth brings it up, gets it to Savage on the wing right in front of Coach Harris. She picks it up, holds over her head now, tosses it into the corner to Smyth. Smyth drives up top to Tatum Smyth. 3 ball on the way. No. Rebounded by Rittenhouse. And now Dansville can hold for 1. We're down to 7 seconds, 6 seconds. Into the big girl. Young out on the wing. And jump shot down to Brianna Caruso. And it's the biggest lead of the game as the quarter expires for Dansville. Your score after 3 periods of play here at Gates Shiloh High School. Dansville 46, Pelmac 39. 1 more quarter of action to go as we see if Pelmac can put on a charge here on FingerLakes1.com.
Generations Bank is celebrating 150 years of serving and supporting our hometowns. Visit mygenbank.com for the best choices in checking, savings, home equities, mortgages, and much more. Generations has been the Finger Lakes Bank since 1870. Generations Bank, member FDIC.
DeSanto Propane is 4 generations strong as a trustworthy family-owned business with unmatched customer service. Go online at DeSantoPropane.com for more info. DISANTO Propane.com or call toll-free at 1-800-752-4574 today. DeSanto. Since 1937, the difference has been DeSanto Propane.
We're back inside Gates Shiloh High School. Just had former Clyde Savannah coach, East High girls coach Tim Jackson come up to the broadcast booth and give us some thoughts on the game. And he wants them to put some more some bodies on Young. She's killing them inside.
Tim was getting right at what we had been talking about that third quarter, is that Ariana Young's been setting up position deep near the basket and really controlled everything on the offensive end.
She is in the corner now as it's a drive by Madison Lee, puts it up and in. So not a great start to the fourth quarter for Pelmac, as Pelmac quickly the other way. Lyko has it, kicks it back to Katie Smyth, top of the key, guarded by LaPlante now. She probes the defense at the top of the key, gets it to her sister, gets it back, thought about a three, now she drives baseline, and she's fouled, and that should be number 3 on Young. Not as big of an issue as it seemed early on in the game when she picked up 2 early fouls.
But also important on the offensive end of things is Pelmac's been struggling to manufacture points in the half court, and Katie Smyth at the free throw line is as good as any option in the half court for Pelmac.
So now Katie Smyth to the free throw line, trying to get momentum going back to the Red Raiders, and she makes the first free throw. She has 13 on the afternoon, and it's 48-40 with 7:29 to go. Couple dribbles with the right hand, sets, fires, and hits the second. So there is your senior all-Finger Lakes East standout, Katie Smyth, cutting that lead down to 7. Let's see if they do anything different with Young now. She's at the foul line as the Mustangs work it around now. Trail, she is being doubled front and back by Savage and Trail, but that opened things up for Rittenhouse to cut through unguarded.
And a beautiful pass and good recognition by Ariana Young, realizing she's double teamed and looking for a cutting teammate.
50-41 now, 9-point lead, 6:57 to go. Smyth out top, thought about a 3, kicks it over to the corner to Tatum Smyth. Tatum now drives right hand in the paint, a little runner off the glass, no good, and a rebound controlled by Ariana Young. So Ariana Young, not much of an impact in the first half, but she's doing it all here in the second half. Primary reason why the Mustangs have been able to turn it around. They try to get it into her there. It's tapped away as both Trail and Savage are all over. Now an open 3 ball missed by Caruso, and here comes Pelmac. Tatum Smyth tried to bounce it to Savage, and it's kicked. They had numbers, so I think Dansville will take that kick ball, and it'll be Pelmac's basketball.
Kicked by Rittenhouse. There was good numbers there, and I think that's one of the things that Pelmac needs to do in this fourth quarter is look to really get out in transition and push the pace.
And they inbound it to Savage. She misses at the rim, rebounded by Dansville, and so up on a steal here. But thrown away as soon as it was stolen by Lyko. She threw it over the head of Andrew Savage and out of bounds on the baseline. So 6:07 to go.
Yeah, Pelmac applying some full court pressure. Dansville a little jittery with it, turns the ball right over there, and then Lyko immediately gives it back to them.
50-41. Full court pressure now from the Red Raiders, but no problem as up ahead is the layup by Madison Lee ahead of the pack. Trail was trying to catch up to her, but she held her off and laid it in on the left-hand side of the rim off the backboard. So 52-41, 5:45 to go. It's the lead's at 11. Pelmac needs points now. Trail elbow jumper, no. And Pelmac's gone cold as it's tracked down in the corner, and here comes LaPlante. Up ahead it goes, and there's Madison Lee again, but it's blocked by Trail, but ripped away by Young, and they're going to get a foul on Trail, it looks like. which I thought they might give Young the foul. I don't understand, but we're pretty high up as we get a couple of subs now. Hodgkins in for
We're
Trail.
ways up. Trail made a good block on the first play, but then Young able to pull it down and draw the foul.
So that ends up being another basket for
Madison Lee has
Dansville.
really heated up.
She's got 6 points here in the fourth quarter. And that last Pelmac foul on
A big answer by Katie Smyth with a deep three.
So that's a 4 3-pointer for Smyth. And just when they need it most, it's down to 10. So we're almost inside 5 minutes, 5:03 to go. Crunch time here as Pelmac needs to cut into this double-digit deficit as Young has it, spins, leaves for her teammate, no good, but gets the short shot. It was an air ball. She caught the air ball, put it up and in, and Young now has 19 points, 15 in the second half, 4:43 to go, lead back to 12. Smyth dribbling left, bounce pass to Savage on the block, takes it at Young, blocked by Young, and corralled by Young, and a foul on Savage. That's going to be number 4. So things are not going Coach Harris's way here in the second half at Gates Shiloh High School. And we got a timeout on the floor.
Dansville's going to take a timeout to talk over breaking that full court press of the Red Raiders.
I want to tell you about some more of our great sponsors here at FingerLakes1.com, like Wilson Press and Mail House online at wpress.com, Red's Place in downtown Seneca Falls, best lunch in town, 60-cent wings on Wednesday night, Thursday night's taco night, Stever's Garage and Jimmer's Auto, used car inventory online at jimmersauto.com, and Cicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant. You can order online at Cicinos.com or visit them at one of their 3 locations in Waterloo, Geneva, or Del Lago Resort and Casino. It's a Wonderful Run 5K, a winter run like no other every December in Seneca Falls. It's a Wonderful Run 5K.com and Ferrara Lumber and Building Supplies. Browse their selection online at ferraralumber.com before planning your next home improvement project. 4:36 to go, 56-44, 12-point lead, full court pressure from the Red Raiders. And they get it across no problem. Now they got numbers. 3-on-1, a little Euro step missed by, blocked by Hodgkins. And loose ball, 3 offensive rebounds by Dansville. And a foul. And Dansville really feeling it now. They're heading to the free throw line.
Yeah, a great initial defensive play by Hodgins as she's able to block the shot of Ariana Young, but then Dansville just swarming on the offensive glass, able to get 2 putbacks, and now head to the free throw line.
And that's Katie Smyth's 4th foul as the first free throw missed by LaPlante. And certainly with Smyth and Savage with 4 fouls, I don't think they can afford to lose either one at this point with 4:22 to go. We might have a lane violation, so yeah, it was. She made the free throw, but Ariana Young, one of the few things that she's done wrong in the second half, lane violation, and it's back to Pelmac, lead at 12, 4:18 to go. Here comes Smyth across the timeline. Smyth gets it to Seether, Molly Seether, and now Sophie Lyko stops and pops from about 6 feet, and she gets it to go. Off the back iron, up in the air and down, and Lyko has 4 points, and no problem again on that full court pressure for Dansville as LePage was going to take it at Hodgkins, but wisely backed it out. They're going to burn a little clock here with 3:50 to go, and the lead at 10. And a steal, it's Seether.
Good defense by the 8th grader Hodgins on Young.
And now they reverse it. Katie Smyth with the basketball. Working off a pick. Smyth lets a runner go. Back iron no good. And now every rebound is ending up in the hands of Ariana Young.
The second chance opportunities have been slim to none since she's re-entered the game in that second quarter.
So now LaPlante left side, 3:16 to go, 10-point lead, and a little give and go to Young, who misses on the left side, but Pelmac misses the opportunity to grab the rebound. It's back out top to Rittenhouse, skips it over, 3-ball on the way now from Lee. That's no good, and this time Savage corrals the rebound, so now we're inside 3 minutes, 2:56 to go, lead still at 10. Smyth, deep 3, top of the key, no. Rebounded by Lee, and now Rittenhouse is walking it up.
And I think we're going to see at this point Dansville start to utilize the clock a little bit to their advantage with a 12-point lead.
And Andrew Savage just fouled out of the game, reaching on Madison Lee, and that's the 5th foul. Of course, outstanding lacrosse player. She's got a great season ahead of her coming up, but no, it's just 4 fouls. I'm sorry. 4 fouls on Savage. Spoke too soon.
Fortunate for Palmac, as one of the key cogs to this Palmac offense and defense is Savage.
And now they're stopping and going over to the scorer's table. All 3 referees are heading over to the scorer's table. Diane Williams, Matt Finch, and Todd Burden to talk with the scorekeeper. Not sure what they could be discussing. It looks like
maybe they're talking about the number of fouls with the bookkeepers.
Yeah, I had her for 5. Still don't know what the issue is. Savage still on the court. The referees keep holding up the number 5. I don't know. They didn't reset the shot clock or anything. They didn't do anything. So
they didn't adjust any time on the clock. So not sure what they were talking through over there.
Remains in the game, and LaPlante now with an inbound, and she's fouled by Tatum Smyth.
And a fresh 30. Well, no, that's going to send Dansville to the line here.
At this point, I think that if you're Palmac, you almost got to start thinking about extending the game by sending them to the free throw line. There's still 2:33 to go, and it's just a 10-point game. It's not over.
And, of course, we saw how effective that was earlier this morning up at Blue Cross in the Geneva-Waterloo game, as Geneva really struggled from the free throw line down the stretch.
Missing 14 in the 4th quarter.
Gave Waterloo an opportunity to creep back into it.
Here LaPlante misses the first and the second, but the rebound bounces between a couple of Red Raiders, but the missed putback is corralled by the Red Raiders. Here comes Savage right side. Skip pass to Katie Smyth to her sister Tatum, top of the key. Now Savage foul line, drives, loses it, foul. And she goes down to the ground and is helped up by Hodgkins, and that's just the 3rd foul. That's the 4th foul on Rittenhouse, but just the 3rd team foul on Dansville this quarter with 2:18 to go. And now they reverse it. Lyko drives baseline. She lofts up a hook shot, misses, rebounded though, and put back up and in by Savage.
Big putback by Savage to get it under 10.
And now we got full court pressure. Smyth and Savage with a trap, almost picked off. And it hit Smyth in the back of the hands, but she wasn't looking. And now here comes Dansville the other way. A little 2-on-1 break. They lay it up and in. Lead back to 10.
Unfortunate for the Red Raiders there is solid defense. Had a chance at the turnover. Andrew Savage with the quick runner.
That was a quick strike from Savage. She scored the last 4 for Palmac. And with a timeout on the court, your score 58-50, 1:43 to go. And, Tani, this whole second half has been Dansville, but Palmac still within striking distance with plenty of time.
Well, and we've talked about it. What's going to keep Palmac in the game at this point? The seniors who have gotten them there all year long. Katie Smyth, Andrew Savage. Andrew Savage with a couple of baskets recently. Katie Smyth, we know, has been really the only three-point option for the Red Raiders today and has got deep range. The keys to them getting back in the game are going to be scoring some baskets, the two of them. But of note, the 8th grader, Mariana Hodges, has entered the game and defensively has altered a little bit the way that Ariana Young's been able to dominate the game physically. She's done a really nice job of deflecting some passes and being active.
She has done an impressive job. I recall her from rec league basketball. My daughter's an 8th grader as well, and she's just seemed to have dramatically improved her game. She seems to be more physically fit, and she's really a dominant presence that's going to be one of the leaders for this Palmac program over the next 4 or 5 years. So let's see if they can get this one back here with 1:41. Again, no problem with the press for Dansville, and now they're going to work some clock. Palmac might want to think about fouling, and they do. It is
and they've got
Molly Seether.
Yep. We've got Molly Seether and Riley McPike, a couple of the guards from the junior varsity team into the game doing a little bit of offense, defense, because they can foul, where both Katie and Tatum and Smyth are in foul danger.
Coach Harris remaining positive on the sideline as the two JV players come off, and now LaPlante has missed her last 2 free throws, make it her last 3. That one was actually a good effort, and that's her last 4 free throws she's missed, actually. 0 for 4 in the fourth quarter for LaPlante. 58-51-34. She's got another shot coming here, and that one is good. So 9-point lead. Here comes Palmac. Tatum Smyth, top of the key. Dribbles left into the lane. A little runner blocked by Young, but back into the hands of Tatum Smyth. And now Katie Smyth tried to get it into Savage, and now it's out of bounds off of, actually that's going to be it for Andra Savage. This time I'm sure it's her 5th. And as I was saying before, a big lacrosse season ahead for Andra Savage, but she just has most likely played her last game in a Palmac Red Raiders basketball jersey in an outstanding career, and she's still on the court down on the block. As Coach Harris now getting Riley Trail up off the bench. She checks in, and Savage heads over, met by Coach Harris. A hug. I think Savage is a little understandably upset heading to the end of the bench.
And Andra gets a nice standing ovation from both her teammates and the crowd here.
And another missed free throw. This time it was Rittenhouse, so it might not be it for Savage. Let's see if her teammates can rally something here. Down 9, 1:20 to go. And Rittenhouse eyes the rim again and misses again. And Trail rips down the rebound, gets it out to Katie Smyth. The the Red Raiders need a bucket. And Smyth is fouled on the left side, so she'll head to the free throw line. Clock stops, 1:12 to go. She can cut the lead to 7 with a couple of free throws.
A heady play by Katie Smyth, attacking the basket right away, drawing the foul, and stops the clock. And like you said, a chance to bring it to 7.
Plenty of time left. You know, high school basketball, things can turn on a dime, and but she needs these free throws. And she gets the first. She is about as clutch as they come from what I've seen of Katie Smyth over her varsity career. And, you know, unassuming looking player as she makes them both, but she's got the heart of a lion. And right now she's fighting, she takes a seat. I don't think that Coach Harris,
offense, defense,
can't afford to let Smyth pick up her 5th foul, and it looks like Harris is going to try to extend the game with a foul here. Red Raiders only down 7. They do foul, and about 1 second came off the clock there. So heading all the way to the other end of the court is going to be, looks like it's going to be Hannah LaPlante. Now LaPlante just 1 for 5 in the fourth quarter from the free throw line. Actually, yeah, it is going to be LaPlante. So 1:10 remaining, 59-52. Hodgkins and Trail on the blocks. Going to need to get the rebound if the second shot is missed. Now the first one is missed, and now LaPlante is 1 for 6 this quarter. Rittenhouse is 0 for 2 this quarter. Second free throw up and good. So the clock's moving now. Palmac down 8. Katie Smyth back into the game. Tatum with the basketball. She had a chance at a 3 there. She wasn't expecting it, so she hands it off to Katie. Katie drives a little Euro step, no good. Rebounded by Trail, puts it back up, and we have a jump ball. It's going to stay with Palmac. 55.2 seconds left. Palmac needs a quick score and then another foul.
And Riley Trail with an attempt at a quick putback.
And the pass inbounded up top to Tatum Smyth. Tatum drives right against Rittenhouse. Now she probes the baseline. She's through on the baseline. Bounce pass to Trail, but she's just corralled by Ariana Young. It's going to be a jump ball, this time going back to
strong defensive
Dansville.
Play by Ariana Young as she's able to contest the shot of Trail and bring it down. And
timeout Kirshner.
Of course, now in girls basketball, when we get to under a minute in the game, coaches are able, with their timeouts, to effectively remove full court pressure from the equation as they can elect to advance the ball to the front court, which I'm sure we'll see Dansville do here.
And I imagine Coach Harris will still elect to foul immediately. I already saw he did make the quick subs, got Katie Smyth out of the game for defense, and once they go to the free throw line, he'll reinsert her again on offense. 60-52, 47.3 seconds to go. Palmac Raiders start to this game looks so promising. They opened up a lead of as much as 9 points in the first half, and the second half has just been all Dansville as the inbound pass to Young, and she's fouled by Sophie Lyko. And now the Smyth sisters check back in as Riley McPike and Grace Seether take a seat. 45.6 left, and Young is 3 for 6 from the line, make it 4 for 7 as the first one's down, and the lead now balloons back up to 9. This one would make it double digits. Still a 3-possession game if she misses. She does miss. Hodgkins with the rebound, and quickly comes Katie Smyth up court. She stops, pops a little step back three. No, and it bounces off the rim and over.
And Katie got a great look at that three. Good ball fake, good step back. It was on line.
Timeout, Mustangs.
So another Dansville timeout. It was a great look. It was right on line, nice arc to it. Just hit the back rim and high up, unfortunately, over the backboard and out of bounds.
Palmac just looking like they're running out of time here with just 37 seconds left. Still, like you said, a 3-possession game, and the way that Dansville has been shooting at the free throw line, a little bit a glimmer of hope, but things are looking bleak here.
And the Dansville fans across the way feeling in a celebratory mood as we see the Penn Yan Mustangs and the Avon girls prepared to take the court next. That game should be on WFLR. Well, I don't see Lucas Day here yet. Do you, Jeremy?
Nope, not yet. But I believe that game will be covered.
And now inbound pass, wide open layup. Rittenhouse lays it up and in. And that was surprising to see Rittenhouse just streak through and shoot when you think they were going to be trying. But that's really the nail right there, Connie. It's an 11-point game, 33.5 seconds to go.
Palmac will take a timeout, advance the ball. But
I think if they don't score on this possession, Coach Harris will probably call off the Dogs. And, another really successful season for the Palmac Lady Red Raiders. They Finger Lakes East co-champs, although the way the regular season ended, they had a big win over Waterloo and thought they had it wrapped. Well, I don't know if they thought they had it wrapped up, but we thought they may have had it wrapped up. But then Penn Yan with a big upset on the final night.
Always interesting the way teams match up. As Waterloo girl teams, the only losses they had all year long were to this Palmac team, and the only league losses that Palmac had was twice to this Penn Yan girls team, who we're going to see in action next against Avon. Coach Harris, I'm sure, is looking to draw up an opportunity for one of the Smyth sisters to get off a good look from behind the arc.
33.5, ball inbounded, and here comes Katie Smyth, shoots a 17-footer, it's too strong, rebounded by Dansville, and they are going to foul again. This time it looks like Hodgkins, and I think that's Madison Lee that's going to head to the free throw line with 26 seconds left.
Number 33, Mariana Hodgkins. First second in the game, number 23, Molly Segal.
Now, Hodgkins has been solid defensively during this half. It has affected how well Young was able to score near the basket. But
Katie Smyth checks out. It might be for the last time as she's getting hugs from her teammates up and down the bench as Lee misses the free throw. So
And Katie Smyth, outstanding campaign her senior year. Great leader for this team. No quitting her whatsoever. And boy, those threes that she hit in the first half and even in the third quarter, a lot of what helped build that lead for Palmac.
So we're inside 25 seconds now. The lead's at 12. And Tatum Smyth stop, pops a three, and no good. And Hodgkins battles for the rebound. It's out of bounds. It'll stay with Palmac. Just 16.9 seconds left. And the Dansville Mustangs are going to be your Section 5 Class B1 girls basketball champion in about 15 seconds as a three ball from the corner is off. That was Lyko. And now Rittenhouse controls, and they're going to foul. No, they don't foul her. They tried, and that's it. And you can hear the Dansville fans and the bench erupt. The clock expires, and the Dansville Mustangs are, their huddle kind of tumbled to the court. They're your 2020 Section 5 Class B1 Girls Basketball Champions. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll wrap it all up. Once again, your final score here from Gates Chili High School. Dansville 64, Palmac 52. Dansville takes the block. We'll be right back on FingerLakes1.com with the Little John Orthodontics postgame show.
Help FingerLakes1.com bring you more great live local sports coverage by becoming a supporter at patreon.com/FO1. Generations Bank is celebrating 150 years of serving and supporting our hometowns. Visit mygenbank.com for the best choices in checking, savings, home equities, mortgages, and much more. Generations has been the Finger Lakes Bank since 1870. Generations Bank, member FDIC.
Since 1937, the difference has been DeSanto Propane.
All roads lead to Bill Cram Chevrolet, Waterloo Exit 41, Highway 5 and 20 in Seneca Falls. See all our trucking deals at BillCramChevrolet.com.
Dr. Littlejohn, Dr. Barbie, and their outstanding orthodontic team share a common goal: to ensure the overall wellness of each of their patients through their exceptional orthodontic care. Dr. Rod Littlejohn and Dr. Liz Barbie are proud to support our area high school athletes. Check out Dr. Rod and Dr. Liz online at littlejohnortho.com.
And welcome back as Palmac players being honored at midcourt here at Gates Chili High School. I'm Jim Sinacropi along with Tony Robinson for FingerLakes1.com. And I'll run through the scoring here shortly on the Little John Orthodontics Smiles with Style postgame show. But it's always a little sentimental this time of year when a team like the Palmac Red Raiders, who went farther than most, finally realize that that's it for the great seniors. Katie Smyth, one of the better players in the Palmac history. Andra Savage.
When I spoke with Coach Harris yesterday before the game, Coach Harris got a little bit emotional just talking about the team and what he was planning on saying to them today. That he was proud of them, that he believes in them, and that they're winners no matter what, and wanted them, to enjoy the moment today. And I know that those young ladies will. Good representation from our school and our town here to support the athletes. A whole bunch of people tuning in from home to here, and this team represented themselves and the school and the Palmyra and Masson community as well all season long.
And I'll tell you, one thing about Smyth and Savage is They're great role models for the younger kids, and this Palmac program is as strong as ever under Coach Harris. So they can certainly hang their heads high knowing that they're part of something that will continue on even after they've graduated. Both Smyth and Savage just certainly great role models that any parent would love their kid to grow up and emulate. So
absolutely, two terrific student athletes, and certainly their contributions on the floor and off are going to be missed.
So I am going to quickly run through the scoring here. For the Dansville Mustangs, it was Madison Lee with 17 points. Actually, Ariana Young led the way with 20, 17 of them in the second half. That really was the difference. When she found early foul trouble and came out of the game, Palmac was able to build the lead. Once she was back in, she literally took over the game, having a 13-point third quarter, finishing with 20. Madison Lee, 17 points, 9 of those in the final period. 13 points for Hannah LaPlante, 7 for Grace Rittenhouse, 4 apiece for Sydney Stone and Brielle Caruso. For the Red Raiders, in her final game, Andra Savage with 21 points and Katie Smyth with 19 points. 4 points for Sophie Leichel, 3 for Tatum Smith, 3 for Riley Trail, and 2 for the 8th grader Mariana Hodgins. And their final score, 64-52. Palmac ends her season with an 18-5 mark as Finger Lakes East co-champions, and the Dansville Mustangs improved to 21-2. They're the Section 5 Class B1 champions. As we look at the all-tournament team, and
not surprisingly for the for the all-tournament team, Katie Smyth and Andrew Savage as members of the Section 5 all-tournament team, along with Ariana Young.
So, Tony, I guess that'll about wrap it up for us here at Gates Chile. Always a pleasure working with you.
Likewise.
Really enjoyed it, which for a better outcome for the Mustangs, but again, nothing to hang their head about. We'll be back online on Finger Lakes 1 Radio tonight at about 7 o'clock, shortly before 7. It'll be Paul Russo and Nick Felice with your call on the Lions competing for the Class C2 girls title against the Keshequa Indians. And so for my broadcast partner, Tony Robinson, and for Jeremy Hunt and everyone here at Finger Lakes 1.com Sports, I'm Jim Sinicropi. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.